Hello, I'm Callie. Welcome to my Spoken English Diary series. I've been teaching English for over 10 years and I want to share the fastest way to learn. It's called Comprehensible Input. You watch a native speaker's everyday life, you see how I talk, and you copy it. That's how your English grows naturally. I recommend just watching and listening to this video first to understand the overall meaning. You can also take note of any new vocabulary words or expressions that you learn throughout the video. Then go back and shadow the sentences out loud to practice your pronunciation, speaking, and fluency. If you keep practicing with this video over time, your English will improve. Let's get started. I just got back from one of the coolest trips I've ever been on, and today I want to tell you all about it. This trip had it all. Coachella, Silicon Valley, amazing views, delicious food, and I even got to be an intern at a tech startup for a day. Usually, when I go back to the US, it's mostly to visit family. My trips are usually pretty quiet and peaceful, but this time was different. I went for vacation, specifically for Coachella. It was my first time ever going. It was so much fun and such a special experience. At the same time, it was also pretty intense. There was so much walking. I stayed up until 5 a.m. almost every night, and there was dust everywhere. I actually got a little sick afterward, but still, I would 100% go again. Everyone looked amazing in their festival outfits. And every person that we talked to was so friendly. The whole vibe was just incredible. The biggest downside, though, was definitely the price. The tickets weren't cheap, and once you got inside the festival, the food and drinks were pricey too. Still, for me, it was worth it. It felt like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, especially because Justin Bieber and Big Bang performed. They were both amazing, and I'm so glad I got to see them live. Here's one tip. If you ever go to Coachella, I highly recommend getting the shuttle, hotel, and ticket package. It just makes everything so much easier and more comfortable. Honestly, it was a lifesaver for me. And I think it even saved me some money in the long run. After Coachella, I went to San Francisco. I stayed at my friend's house while she was out of town. So big shout out to Cece and Josh if you're watching this. Thank you so much. Their house was so cozy, and I loved getting to stay in a more local neighborhood. It made me imagine what life would feel like if I actually lived in San Francisco. I had been to San Francisco once before, but on this trip, I really fell in love with the city. It's just so charming. The hills, the views, the old Victorian style houses. It has so much character. Also, the people there just seemed so kind and genuine. It might actually be my new favorite city in the US. Of course, I ate very well there too. My favorite food is burritos, and San Francisco is famous for them, so I was very happy. My top 3 food recommendations are the carne asada super burrito from El Farolito, the breakfast burrito from Al Carajo, and last but definitely not least, my favorite food from the whole trip, an almond croissant from Arsicult Bakery. I'm not even a huge pastry person, but after one bite, I completely understood why it's considered one of the best bakeries in the whole country. That croissant was life-changing. I still dream about it. Another unforgettable part of my trip was meeting people working in Silicon Valley. I got to interview people there, and it was so inspiring. I loved the city itself, but honestly, the people made the biggest impression on me. Hearing their stories and seeing how passionate they are about their work really stayed with me. I'm so grateful to everyone who took time out of their busy schedules to talk with me. Thank you so much. One of our friends also works at Meta and gave us a tour of the campus. It was huge. It was so interesting to walk around, and it kind of felt like its very own little city. Finally, I had the chance to be an intern for a day at a big tech startup called Vizcom. I toured the office, interviewed employees, sat in on meetings, and got to see what their work environment was like up close. I learned so much and genuinely loved the experience. So a huge thank you to their founder, Jordan, for letting me visit and spend the day there. Now I'm back in Busan and I'm really excited to spend another summer here. The beach is getting busier and busier, and I just love the energy. Can't wait until it's warm enough to swim again. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my trip, and if you like learning natural English through real life stories like this, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!